Alright, trial mob. So if you guys have seen this already, then you know that Omanga is coming in hot with this acid rain drop. Now I've been wanting to cover this. I know it's been out for a little while, but I'm now just finally getting an opportunity to talk about this. I think this is one of the most exciting drops that we've been shown from acid rain, especially considering the look that we're being given here. Cannot wait to break it down for you guys, so let's go ahead and get it. So we're getting three main drops. So the first one is going to be Strength of Ved, which is basically going to be another character in the same vein as Valdo. This one right here is basically a main character. This is not an infantry character. And the bike that he comes with, as you can tell, super badass. I remember me and Skelly were talking about this before, that we thought it might be Arc Core, but now basically this is the confirmation that it's not. It is Acid Rain. The second one that we're going to be talking about today is going to be the Abaddon Ghiests, which are going to be in the same vein as the Strength of Ved. They're basically going to be the same similar armor, but this one's going to be with the blue color rather than that red color. Again, now this is going to be a little different because this is an actual infantry trooper, so you'll be able to buy multiple of these if you want, and that's perfectly fine. Just basically your mechanized infantry, which is really nice, the fact that they're actually giving it to us separated from the motorcycle that they also come with, because that means that you can buy multiple of these for just general infantry purposes and get maybe one or two bikes on top of that. So I'm glad that they're separating like that, because Ved, I definitely would want him with a motorcycle, and while I might want one or two of these guys with a motorcycle, it's really nice that we're getting multiple of them. And thirdly, here we got the Ghiest CM1m. So this right here is going to be the motorcycle that the general infantry is going to be driving. These are basically what the Ghiest are riding around in. And as you can tell, it's basically a less armored version of what we get with the Strength of Ved. But you know, again, that is going to make it something that's smaller, which is nice. So it's up to you what you like. But this gives me huge Akira vibe. So again, really dope stuff coming along. So here we have Ved himself, and as you can tell, the new armor that he's going to be coming with is definitely the updated version of what I was referring to when I was talking about how Valdo and some of the other stuff that we're getting is based on the old Omanga stuff. Well, this right here is the absolute update of that armor. I imagine we might get other infantry troopers that are going to be back to the normal Omanga stuff that we got in the past, but this right here really encompasses kind of the fact that Omanga is kind of ahead in terms of its military prowess compared to everybody else. Because I mean, look at this armor, it's very sleek, it covers them from tip to toe. I almost get kind of a Power Rangers look out of it, but it still looks really badass. And of course we get that giant cannon that he comes with, which none of these guys hold that gun very well unless you're basically the Reborn Trooper, but we'll see, maybe this one is a little different. Alright, now here we have him on his actual motorcycle, and as you can tell, it's different from the regular one that the guys are going to be driving, the CM1m. And as you can tell, it comes with a cannon on the top, and as far as I can tell, almost like a cockpit style, where the top comes down on top of him to give him more protection. This is a really badass looking figure. Yes, I get Akira vibes, but this is like Akira military vibes. This is exactly what Acid Rain needed. If we are going to go and say that some of the Soil Ghost stuff is exactly what we needed for them to go backwards in their lore, right? I shouldn't say backwards, but at least more traditional. This is what they need to push forward in, you know, what Acid Rain could really be overall. I like a lot of their military stuff, and a lot of it seems grounded in fairly reality, but this right here is definitely pushing it, you know, forward, and I really like that look overall. He looks absolutely badass. Now switching over to the Ghiest, this is just basically a neutral look of it, and as you can tell, it's basically Ved but with the blue underpinnings rather than the red underpinnings. And I will say that I do like the fact that they incorporated that, it looks like that butterfly joint right there by the shoulders. That's nice. Kind of wish we would have gotten a new gun. This seems to be kind of the gun that all of the Omanga soldiers use, and we've seen quite a few different guns coming from basically all the other military factions. So I wish we would have gotten something new, but I'm okay with it. At least it does have the same color combination, which is nice. I love the fact that everything is color matched, and again, that sleek armor with that helmet definitely looks like very sleek soldiers that obviously are lightly armored. Maybe not as lightly armored as I would have thought, but still really, really badass. And now, of course, here we actually have the... It looks really cool. As you can tell, it is less armored than the Strength of Ved, but that's still really dope for a mechanized infantry. And as you can tell, it does have those guns in the front, and those fat wheels look awesome. And as I can tell from some of the photography, I do believe that front wheel is able to move left and right. But this just kind of leaves the question, like, how is anybody supposed to fight against this? The only mechanized infantry we really get is some of the stuff that we've gotten from some of the other Omanga military, and they have more traditional looking bikes, so I don't understand how that's really supposed to compete with this, but maybe it can. Again, we have no lore to know whether or not this could or could not, but I love the way this looks. They really went to work on this, and I'm glad they came out with this overall aesthetic. I really almost like this aesthetic more than I even do the Strength of Ved, just because it's smaller, it's a little bit more compact, they look like they're a little faster, they look great in the cockpit. I mean, this is really cool. But I mean, obviously as a centerpiece, the Strength of Ved is going to look great with 2, 3, 4, as many as you want on the side of these. Again, I don't know if I'm going to buy more than 1 or 2 of the motorcycles, but I plan on getting at least 2 or 3 of the Ghiest, so that'll be something that'll be cool overall to have. But it's just, I really like the look they're going for here. Some might even say this is somewhat of a Kamen Rider look, and I would definitely agree that there's a little bit of inspiration from that here, but just in the acid rain style. Now here we have another photo of the CM1m basically in action, and as you can tell, they're basically the same size as Valdo, so you can put basically any character you want in these. Valdo, the Reborn Troopers, the puppets, everything will fit into this. It's standard size. And right here, this sort of back shot, we get a better idea of what the actual cockpit looks like. And I don't know, the visualization of this is just really badass. I think one time in my life, I thought I was going to make bikes in the future, and I think this is kind of what I had thought. So yeah, I don't know, good inspiration from where they were pulling from. And as you can tell, it does have that peg right there on the bottom right so that it can stand up on its own, though I almost wonder if it needs it. Those are some really fat wheels. Now, of course, what are some promotional images without being able to see multiple guys all together? And again, these guys just look really cool, man, especially when you have a few of them together. They just look like this like futuristic Spec Ops like, you know, soldiers. And again, I like the fact that we get to see them off the bike as well. Granted, it would look cool with having multiple of them together, but the fact that you could put a whole squad of these on foot and still have maybe 1 or 2 on the side on the motorcycle, I think is a great aesthetic overall. And again, these guys just look just absolutely futuristic compared to anything we've gotten so far from Acid Rain in general, at least in terms of regular infantry. I think for many of us, considering even the Republic of Yamamoto stuff, which is most likely going to end up being a must-buy, this right here is the next must-buy part of the faction. I'm really happy that Omanga is getting a lot of love here. And actually, as you can tell right here, Ved right here in the middle, he has a different helmet, and then this helmet is more reminiscent of what we see the other guys with. Still unique to himself. Yeah, so it's not a carbon copy of what the Ghiest have, but still fairly similar. And again, it just looks absolutely badass, right? The one dude in red with a bunch of the ones in blue following him. I think this is just good color combinations and good choices by Acid Rain to make something that's interesting, futuristic, and already basically a must-buy for most of us. Now, switching over real fast to some Dragon Ball Z. Now, if you guys know, Tamashii Nations have been coming out with a whole slew of new stuff that you have to get basically on Premium Bandai. So I don't know if this is right here is going to be specifically Premium Bandai or if it's going to be something from just general release. But we're getting basically Namek Gohan and Namek Krillin, which I don't know if I'm going to want to buy these. I almost feel like maybe I should because I'm trying to get the whole Frieza army together, but these guys aren't Frieza military, so I don't know if I'll end up getting these, but obviously these are really badass. And if you're trying to recreate scenes, especially that iconic scene of Krillin getting killed and then Goku becoming Super Saiyan for the first time, you're definitely going to want this. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are going to, you know, hop on this and purchase this. Again, I think it's cool. I just don't know if I'm sold yet, but it is pretty badass. Now, this one right here is definitely going to be a 100% purchase for me. Dr. Giro, or I believe what they would have named him, I believe that he's known as Android 20. Either he's 20 or he's 19, and then the clown-looking guy is the opposite. So these two, or should I say this one right here, is definitely going to be a must-buy. Very crucial part of the whole Cell saga and the Android saga. So, I'm definitely thinking about buying this one. Again, I don't know if this is going to be a wide release or simply just a Tamashii Nation's premium Bandai release, but I'm definitely going to want to purchase this one, and I'm sure plenty of you will as well. Now, I am going to try to get better photos of this in the future, but I wanted to at least throw these ones in real quick. But we're getting another Dragon Ball Super movie. This one's going to be called, I believe, Super Heroes, and this is just an updated version of Vegeta. Like I said, I'll get you guys better photos, but I wanted you guys to at least take a quick look at what we're getting here. And then it hasn't exactly been made clear to us yet, but it seems to be that these are the two quote-unquote superheroes that they are referring to. I personally don't like them. I don't like the look that they gave them. I really haven't liked a lot of the looks that Dragon Ball Super has decided to go with. I think the stuff that they had before was way more badass, and this new stuff is, I don't know, kind of corny to me. I don't know. But let me get more photos of this for you guys. Let me see if maybe I am more sold once I see better photos of these guys. And of course, story could always play a big part of this. If the story is good, that always helps make the design of the things that you look a lot better. But anyways, let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys do want to see better photos of this. I will go ahead and see what I can find. I'm sure I can get you guys some better close-ups and things like that, all right? But until then, I will see you guys on the next episode. Deuces.